Ah, the time has finally come. Shallow water pan fishing. Here we go. Sun's out, not too windy. It's a little breezy, not bad, but we are finally gonna do some shallow water pan fishing. Crappies, bluegills, might run into a largemouth, a rock bass, a pike, who knows, but been waiting for this day for quite a while. Some years you can get after some of these panfish relatively shallow around Easter weekend. Years like this year, however, late May into early June, not so much the case. So here we are. These fish are finally shallow. Water temperatures have warmed up enough to where there's been a big push of fish that has gone up into about 3 feet. 3 to 6 feet is where we're seeing most of these fish in the pencil reeds and those northern portions of the lake where that bottom warms up the fastest, and those fish will move to that to prepare to spawn. So sun is shining, heading out to the lake, hopping in the boat, and finally getting after some of those shallow water panfish. Let's go. So I'm just gonna work over, just got hit. Work over this little stretch here. It's just kind of a little flat with a bunch of pencil reeds and some really dense pencil reeds actually. It kind of looks like a little forest down there. So all these bluegills and crappies, rock bass, largies, they're all kind of mingling around in here getting ready to spawn. So we're gonna see what we can find. I'm gonna whip around, do another little pass. Stay tuned. Shouldn't take long at all. We're gonna get bit here. As soon as you can get in the middle of those reeds, those thick stalks down there, they sniff it out pretty quick. Shallows are loading up pretty good with fish, so it is a fun bite. Ooh, here we go. What we got? Gill. Nice gill. Little hen there. Not too shabby. They're feisty too. Little gill. What a beauty of a day. Holy cow. Summer is here. Feels so good. Just out in the little kicker boat today, a little 14-footer to get up into these shallows. So got a 20-horse 2-stroke. So to keep her nice and stealthy, I'm just going to utilize the paddle here and to stay on these panfish, work these edges with these thick reeds and see what we can come up with here. She looks juicy down there, shallower than I think. Might be up there. We're sitting in 5-6 feet of water now, but oop, there we just got bit shallow. There we go. Yeah, they're up shallower. But with no wind and sun like this, those fish will move up pretty darn tight. Guys, what do we have here? Little crappie. Woohoo. Let's get her back. Pontooners. Nothing worse than pulling in some panfish with 20 people watching. Just gonna let them slide right on by. If you do find a panfish bite like this, I mean, it's not a huge secret. People know where to find panfish in the spring, but there's also a lot of people that don't necessarily take conservation into mind and like to keep all the panfish they catch. So that's just why I prefer to hang out, have a beverage, sit back, wait 10-15 minutes and just let people mosey on by. I don't have a problem sharing water with anybody or you know, sitting on the same spot as someone, but conservation's a big deal, especially in these lakes that have trophy caliber panfish in them. Not saying we're catching any of those trophies today, but they won't become trophies if you keep them all the time. Practicing catch and release this time of the year when these fish are staging to spawn is very important. So just gonna hang out. Ah, that little bluegill. Shallow, shallow, 3 feet. They're moving up there. Go. Let them all go, let them grow. It's up and coming future right there. It's good to see, good to see. Ooh, there we go, fish on. Little guy. Man, it's fun to get after these open water panfish. That much I can tell you. Little gilly. Get you right back. Where were you hiding? Right there. See if you got a cousin hanging out. Bet you do. There we go. Oh, that was a bigger gill. Dang. Guys, that was a nice one. That was a really nice gill. Get back in there. Shoot. That one had a little size to her. Right back in there though. What do we got here? Ah. It's a better fish. We are getting into some bigger fish now. There's some bigger gills to be had up shallow here. Get a quick picture on that one, then we'll let her go. Heck. All right. Nice plump little gill there. We're gonna get him back. What do we have here? Ah, they just bury themselves in those reeds. Man, do they fight though. So fun on ultralight tackle. Oh yeah, another nice gill. They're not super giants by any means, but that's a palm-sized fish. I'm a big guy, so nice gills. Come on, panfish, bite my hook. If anyone wants to come up to the Bemidji area and do some panfishing this summer, hit me up. Always like getting in the boat with new people. There's a lot of panfish to be had around here, so it's a win-win. Oh, it got me in the reeds. Wind's picking up again, I don't like that. Although they don't really seem to mind as much now, which is good. I want to get into some of those crappies. Ooh, there's fish. Little guy. Wind is gross. I don't remember the last time it wasn't windy. I'm sick of it. Sick and tired of it. Whoops. Ah. Feels better, whatever it is. Yeah, rock bass. Old Rocky. Mr. Bullwinkle himself. It's action though, doesn't get old. I'm telling you. It's good stuff. Need a rag in here. Springtime fishing, slip bobbers, ultralights. It's a great way to start the year. Gotta love it. Lots of boat activity lately too. Nice to get out, get that vitamin D. More boats. Boats, boats, boats. Boats all over. Ah, missed. Grandma was so gracious to watch the little ones today, to let me get out here. Thanks, Mom. Grandma comes through in the clutch. These fish are starting to feed pretty heavily too, so you can be pretty broad with your bait choices. Just kind of run down what I'm using here. It's just a simple slip float rig. Got a little knot there. Then I got a little bead on top of the bobber there, just a little panfish bobber, one little split shot. Running that down to a little hair jig, pink and white. Seems to get the deal done all the time. And then just a little piece of crawler. Once you really get into these panfish, it kind of becomes a pain in the ass having to put a little piece of crawler on all the time. Especially if they're crawlers that are in dirt, because it makes a mess. But leeches are probably the best. I just didn't bring any with, because I didn't want to go swing out of my way to go grab some, but crawlers do the trick. A little piece of plastic will do the trick. Might switch to that here shortly, but they are munching the crawler, so I'm going to stick with what's working for now until I burn through the rest of that bait. We'll switch up the game. Catch up to him. What do we got here? Another little gill. Seems to be the standard size. Haven't run into any super giants yet, but they're nice fish. There we go. Sometimes it's just nice to set the hook, you know. This is one of those lakes where typically it's one of the later ones to really kick off for that shallow water panfish bite. It seems to be a late bloomer, so there's a lot of other lakes around here that have been going for panfish for a few weeks now, but this one in particular is always a little late. Oh yeah. Bombed that one way out there. Couldn't quite catch up to him. Got a weed though. That's pretty neat. Check that out. It's the good stuff right there. That's what they're sitting in. Good old reeds. Some of these are so thick they look like corn stalks down there. If I was a panfish, that's where I would be sitting. Right in this stuff. Looks homey. Cover, food, warmer water temps. Perfect place for a panfish to be. Good spot to start the next generation. Boom, boom. Crappies are moving in. Getting that dark color on the top of the back there. Bigger one should be moving in shortly, so take it though. It's pretty cool. Nice little crappie. These things moved up. So there's kind of, ooh, that's a nicer gill. Stout. There's kind of two main concentrations of those pencil reeds where they're really dense. And I started off on the outside one, and that's where I was seeing most of those fish. But now, with the sun out like it is, and not too terribly windy out here, those fish have really moved shallow. There's another one. Oh, just missed it. They moved up to that next row of reeds further in towards shore, so it's getting fun now. Oh my gosh. Oh, I was just reeling it in and that one was hanging on. Yeah, they are pushed up in here tight. See if there's any crappies hanging in here with them. I'm sure there is. So that is what happened. It slowed down out there. I was starting to wonder if I just burned out the spot, or they are stacked in here. There's another one on right now. Jeez. Small. Little pipsqueak. Little tyke. Where's your grandpapa? We need Pappy up in here. Old Pappy Gill. Up in there. Jeez. Yeah, they're loaded in here. I mean, as many fish as you would want to catch, you can do it right now. They're stout little gill, 8-incher. Boom. So fun. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Panfish kind of have a special place in my heart. Don't know why. Grew up in Baudette, Minnesota, so all a kid could do around there really was walleyes, pike, sturgeon. Unless you get up into Canada, you can get after crappies and trout and all that stuff, but it's just kind of refreshing to throw out a little slip bobber on an ultralight and whack some panfish. It's fun. Oh. Bobber hardly gets wet. Little guy. Never mind. Not that little. Not that big, but he's not that little. Man, I don't know how many fish we've caught so far today. Just getting silly now. So much fun. Great way to get kids out there and get interested in fishing. There's no doubt about that. Numbers of fish keep the kids happy. There's a nicer gill. Oh, it's a decent one there. Back. Back she goes. See ya. Oh man, what a day. Solid couple hours of fishing. That was fun. Put a hurting on some bluegills and crappies, a couple of rock bass. It's a great time. Enjoyed it. Can't wait to do it again. Get after some of those shallow water panfish. Plenty of time left to get out there and do it. Now I have to go adult. Tomorrow's Monday, which means it's garbage day. Fun stuff's over, folks. Back to reality. Once again though, thank you for watching. I hope you like the videos. If you could, comment, like, share, subscribe, interact with the channel. Have fun. Don't know what we're doing next, but we're gonna enjoy it. See you on the next one.